viewers, welcome back to my channel. I'm wearing my NASA t-shirt for this one. I know it's big, but I think it's supposed to be like this style or something. Anyways, let's talk about this book, The Calculating Stars by Robinette. I'm not gonna butcher the name. Robinette. I loved this book so much. I'm actually like, yes, so many feels about this. I do have to say, the actual first woman was from Soviet Union. So not the winning team in the race of the moon, but the winning team in feminism. This author kept some of the stuff from history intact, but she completely changed all of the stuff. So it is science fiction, but the science part of it is so well done. Oh my god, I am actually kind of obsessed with space. But I mean, just kind of. I'm a huge space nerd. I love it. I read a ton of these kind of books made by astronauts that give you a little bit of the peek behind the scenes and stuff like that. So when I read this, I was just so amused by how amazingly done this was and how all of the science things about it were so spot on. At the end, the author does tell you that she got some help from people that are actually scientists or people that actually worked in NASA and a couple of astronauts. So everything is really spot on in that aspect. Now, we're following one of the calculators, which is one of the girls that made all of the calculations by hand. This was actually true. You probably know about this if you watch or if you read Hidden Figures, but it's basically one of these girls, and she also kind of really wants to be an astronaut. She's a pilot, and she is a complete genius. I mean, being at college at 14, making really complicated calculations in her head, kind of genius. So obviously in the 50s, in the 60s, feminism is still not really a thing. We follow the difficulty of that into her and how much anxiety it brings into her life to be surrounded by guys, and not only that, but to being told every single time to shut up, be quiet, and be pretty, basically, and to just use her to make the boys feel like they have to try harder because they cannot be beat by a girl. Like, they cannot. In this crazy world, though, there is a meteorite that destroys Earth, and there's a lot of deaths, obviously. So it's the dinosaurs all over again, and the problem is not that one big rock just like bam blinks out the whole Earth, but just a small part in the USA. And the problem is that this also causes earthquakes, and the worst part of it, climate change at its best. I mean, what we are living right now with global warming, but in a crazier scale in a smaller amount of time. So they know that they have about 50 years. She discovers this, by the way. Like, she makes the calculations to see how big the meteorite that stroke was, and with that and a ton of different equations, she realizes that it's going to be really cold for a little bit of time, and after that, global warming, everything is going to hell, basically. They try to, like, what they do is, obviously they say, well, we have to go and colonize Mars or the moon or wherever the fuck else, because if we stay here, we're all dead. It's the struggle of that on Earth. She changes a little bit. The presidents are different. I think she kills a president with a meteorite so that there's another president in to make it more realistic that someone would allow. I don't know, like, the changes in history, they're done well. Like, there's stuff that doesn't add up, but she explains why, and there's a reason why. It's not there just like, oh, and this is our president. You're like, that was not the president in the 50s or in the 60s. So there's changes, but everything makes sense and everything adds up, which I love about this book. It's just so realistic. I mean, the chances of having an extinction like that on Earth again are really not realistic. Probably the sun is gonna die before that happens. If this would have happened, this is so realistic. So we have her, and she starts obviously getting to know more women that are also pilots, and they're like, you know what, why are we not astronauts? She's married to the lead engineer, Nathaniel. I kind of have a new crush, guys. Oh, I have a new book, fictional character crush. Her husband, oh my god, dream guy. If I ever were to marry someone, it would be him. And because he's a fictional character, I'm gonna be alone forever, yay! No, but seriously, that guy, without knowing what a feminist is, he's definitely one. He's there to support, he's happy. I mean, I'm not going to do a lot of I'm not going to do any spoilers, but this is what the book is about. So you can all imagine, I've been rambling for like 6 minutes just to explain what the book is about, but honestly, and it goes so much deeper than just being like a feminist book of how we get the girls to space. Like, obviously that's the main part, but we have so many little things there. Now that we are taking in consideration even more so the Black Lives Matter movement, and that we are like really keeping an eye on it, I think this is a great topic, and it's treated so well in this book. And a lot of the times that actually happen in real life, the author makes it so well to bring it into this book. For example, you know that when they were making the auditions to have astronauts, a black woman actually submitted her papers, and they made her retire. They made her not follow through with the admission because she was black. Yes, it is all over history. It doesn't matter where you look. The discrimination is there. So I love that we are talking about this even more, and that we are not allowing things like that happen in the world. And this author does so well to bring that into the book. This is something that actually happened, so it's not a spoiler. This is a real life event. So she brings that into the book. She brings that as well as when they start, you know, actually meeting astronauts, none of them were black. When the meteorite hits Earth and they are sending missions to rescue people, all of the people that come back from those rescue missions are white. So that's why I think these books feel so real. It's not like the science feels so real, even till, you know, the meteorite not happening. But everything feels so realistic. Like, this is actually how history would go if that would happen. So yes, it's a book with so many topics that I will encourage you to go ahead and read, because it is just so good. I hate reading romance. This romance was so well done, so well written, because I think it's realistic, it is super deep, it is a two-part thing. Like, I am so in love with this book. I actually read it in like 2 days without stop. I would go to bed. It's one of those books that you go to bed and you're like, I need to read this, and you know that you're gonna regret it, because the next morning you'll be like, I only slept for 2 hours, but I finished my book. Yeah, that was me this morning actually. 10 out of 10, or what is it, 5 stars out of 5 stars. I love this book so much. I would totally recommend it. I'm all for the women empowerment, equality, and space exploration. I mean, how can you not like science? Anyways, my nerdy video is coming up, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel for more book reviews and bookish content. And make sure that you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a ton. Leave me your comments down below. Have you read this book? What do you think about it? All of that good stuff. And I will see you readers on my next video. Bye!